I used to work the night shift at a small hotel. What I'm about to tell you still keeps me awake at night. It's the kind of memory that makes your stomach drop when you realize just how close you might have been to something truly dangerous. Asterisk, the hotel wasn't big, 3 floors, maybe 40 rooms total. Most weeknights, we had only 10 or 15 guests. My shift was from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., quiet, uneventful, usually boring. And I liked it that way. Asterisk, at night, the front doors locked automatically, so guests had to buzz in. I would sit at the desk, sometimes in the small office behind it, scrolling through my phone, watching the cameras, or just listening to the faint hum of the vending machines. Asterisk, but one night, things were different. Asterisk, scene builds. Tense music in background around 11. The buzzer rang. A man stood outside, mid-40s, tall, thin, wearing jeans, a baseball cap, and carrying a backpack. He looked ordinary enough. Let him in. Asterisk. He walked up to the desk and asked if we had a room for the night. Asterisk, I said yes. Gave him the price and swiped his card. It beeped approved, or at least I thought it did. I handed him the key card for room 214. Asterisk. But before he left, he just stared at me. Blank face. Eyes fixed on me for several long, uncomfortable seconds. Asterisk, then he turned, walked off toward the elevator. Something about him lingered in my mind. Asterisk, around midnight. I looked up from my phone and nearly jumped. Asterisk, he was back. Asterisk, he didn't come to the desk, didn't say anything. Asterisk, he just walked past me, sat down on the couch in the lounge, and faced the television. The TV wasn't on. He just sat there, staring. Asterisk, at first I told myself maybe he couldn't sleep. But minutes stretched into half an hour. He didn't touch his phone. He didn't fidget. He didn't doze off. Asterisk, he just... Asterisk. When I crossed the lobby to grab water from the vending machine, I felt his eyes follow me. I didn't look at him, but I felt it, like cold pressure on my skin. Asterisk, at 1 a.m., I was checking the reservation system out of boredom. That's when my stomach dropped. Asterisk, room 214 was marked. Asterisk, vacant. Asterisk, asterisk, no check-in record. No charge on the credit card, no key card use on the door. Asterisk. It was like he'd never checked in at all. I called the room, no answer. I checked the logs again, nothing. Asterisk. He had never gone into that room. I looked up at the lounge, and there he was, still staring at the blank TV screen. That's when the fear started creeping in. At 2 a.m., he was suddenly gone. I scanned the cameras and saw him standing at the end of a dark hallway. It's perfectly still. Asterisk, minutes later, he reappeared, sitting back on the couch like nothing had happened. Asterisk, I called my manager, voice shaking. She told me to keep an eye on him and call the police if he did anything threatening. But it already felt threatening. Checking the cameras again. I saw him wandering down the hallways, lingering in the stairwell, standing in the shadows by the vending machines, always silent, always watching. Asterisk, by 3:30 I couldn't take it anymore. I called the non-emergency police line. Asterisk, while I waited, he moved again, closer this time. He stood just 15 feet from the desk. Eyes locked on me, unblinking, silent. Asterisk, when another guest buzzed in around 3:50. Studying him, asterisk, I checked the cameras again. The man was standing outside a guest's room door, just standing there, not knocking, not moving, just waiting. That's when I dialed 911. By the time the officers arrived, he had returned to the lounge, sitting calmly like he'd been there all night. I pointed him out immediately. They spoke to him, asked for ID. He didn't resist. They walked him outside. One officer came back in and told me the truth. He wasn't a guest. The card he used was stolen. He had no bags, no reservation. He was just pretending to check in so he could get inside. Asterisk, they charged him with trespassing and credit card fraud. Asterisk, when the doors closed behind them. I was left in the silence of the lobby, heart racing, hands shaking. Asterisk, I kept staring at the cameras, half expecting him to reappear. The scariest part wasn't that he was caught. It was realizing that for hours, he had been inside the hotel, wandering the halls, lurking in the stairwells, standing outside guest rooms, and watching me. He was never supposed to be there. Asterisk, that night was the most terrifying shift in my life.